with some quick thumbs up. Everyone must be really good.
All right. Let's get it going. Let's start straight away. We'll start off in child's pose. Knees out wide, big toes together. If you see me collapse during this class, it's fine, I promise. It's just 1,000,000 degrees here in Vietnam. A big day of mountain climbing yesterday. While we're here, as always, start to set up the breath. Long, slow, deep, controlled, in and out through the nose. If you know Ujjayi and it's part of your practice, awesome, take that. If you're unfamiliar with it, so you constrict the back of your throat. And as you breathe in and out, it has like a little Darth Vader sound, yeah? Not super strong, but by constricting the throat, we're just slowing down the air. Take one more full big breath in, down into your belly. It's the bottom of your lungs. And squeeze the air out. Start to roll up to your knees, landing hero's pose. Bring your knees together. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can sit high on your knees. From here, start to reach your right fingertips down to the ground. Take your left ear to your left shoulder, but think about lifting it up first. So you're going to create length through the spine, through the crown of the head, before the left ear starts to drop. We're going to create this length, and just want to crank into the side of the neck. One more round of breath here. Switch over sides. Right fingertips come down, lift up first, then right ear to the right shoulder. One more breath out. Bring your hands back to your lap or down to your sides. Start to take your chin to your chest. And begin to take circles through the neck. So left ear to left shoulder. Drop the crown of the head back, then right ear to right shoulder. Just go to either way, really long and slow. And I want you to think about having the neck extended the whole time. So constantly pulling length through the crown of the head. Notice any sticky spots. Keep that elongation through the spine. After that, 2 on both sides. Come back to a neutral spine. We're going to take some seated cat-cows. So as you breathe in, start to look up, shine your chest towards the root. Then tuck your chin to your chest. Push your upper back to the back of the room as you breathe out. So breathe in, start to look up, shine your chest forward. Tuck your chin, push your upper back towards the back of the room as you breathe out. Just do this 2 more times with your breath. You slow the breath down a little bit more. Feel this full flexion, extension through your whole spine. Start to find that neutral spine. And bring your hands to the ground, tabletop. Just to set up the hands, make sure the index fingers are forward as always. The rest of your fingers can fan out, squeeze the mat. And that activity through the wrist is super important. Take your breath in here. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. And if this is the first down dog of the day, if this is the first little bit of movement, maybe start to pedal out the legs. Yeah, but what we're trying to do is spin the sitting bones towards the roof, push the ground away. If you need to take a little bend in your knees, awesome, take a little bend. India, her hamstrings are super open. She can have her legs straight while still spinning the sitting bones up. But for a lot of us, if we try and straighten the legs, what it's actually going to do is take the sitting bones backwards and make us round through the spine. Yeah, we don't want that. We want this V shape through the hips. So spin sitting bones up. Think belly towards thighs, and if that means you need to take a bend, take a bend. Pushing the ground away. And if you've taken any movement, start to find some stillness. Yeah, allow your body to land in this shape. Strong upper half, and then lengthening through the lower. One more round of breath here. Slowly start to walk to the front of the mat. If you can, land on your heels first. So when you get to the top, beautiful ragdoll releasing to the earth. And grab onto your elbows. You can place your fingers, take them over behind you, maybe at the base of your skull. Yeah, a lot of really good options here. But no matter where we are, we're hinging from the hips. So same thing as in down facing dog, a bend in the knees if you need it, but trying to get the belly as close to the thighs as you can. And any time we forward fold, we want the movement to come from the hips. Yeah? It's hinging at this joint. It's going to keep the length in the hamstring muscle. It's also going to allow your upper half to act as a weight. Gravity do the work. If you have, interlace your fingers, either taking them over or base of your skull, just let go of control. Come back to that Uttanasana shape. Take one more breath out. Slowly start to roll up to standing. Take your time. Feel your vertebrae stacking on top of each other. When you get to the top, a big roll of the shoulders. Take a breath out. Over Hastasana, hands rise up to the sky as you breathe in. Feel this length through the sides of your body, then fold back over as you breathe out. Uttanasana. Come to a halfway lift. On the inhale, you can bring your hands to your shin to this neutral lower back. Then hands to the ground, step back, high plank. If you need to, you guys know if you need to modify, shift your weight forward, drop your knees. Okay? Now, the reason we shift the weight forward for that modification is we want to make sure the shoulders are still staying over the wrists, still keeping the core engaged. So no matter what option you've chosen, it's exactly where you're meant to be. India's chosen to modify here. Like I said, we've had a massive couple of days. So what she's doing is really, really awesome. Listening to her body. I really suggest you guys do the same. But listening to your body also means if you want to fire it up, take the full expression, take it. And take one more big breath out here. Everyone shifts forward, knees down, breathe in. Then start to lower to the earth as you breathe out. Baby cobra, head, chest, shoulders rise. Push your big toes into the earth. You're going to hold it here. Maybe you lift your hands up off the ground, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Yeah, you're not pushing the ground away with your hands. Your back is doing all the work here. Take one more big breath in. And then release down to the ground as you breathe out. Push up through that tabletop as you breathe in. Core stays engaged. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Breathe out. And as I said, take your modification. So as we flow that through, if you want to flow with your knees on the ground, awesome. Take that option. Take a breath out together. Heels rise, breathe in. Knees bend, breathe out, step, jump, float to the top of the mat, however you need to get there. And fold forward, breathe out. Over Hastasana, hands rise. Your fingers come all the way to the sky and fold back over. Uttanasana, breathe out. Halfway lift. Lower back is super flat. Hands to the ground, step or jump back, chaturanga. Breathe out, your variation. Now you can take cobra or up dog if you're ready. On the breath in, push the ground away, downward facing dog. Breathe out. Heels rise, breathe in. Take a bend in the knees, exhale, step, jump, float. And in that halfway lift, crown of the head pulls forward. Then fold, over, breathe out. Over Stasana, hands rise up to the sky. Big breath in, think belly button towards spine. Then fold back over as you exhale. Take that halfway lift. Weight in your toes. Step or jump back to that low plank. Remember, you can be on your knees if you need to. Upward facing dog. Keep your thighs off the ground really strong. Then downward facing dog. The hips pull you back as you breathe out. Start to change it up. Take an exhale here. Right heel rises, breathe in. Take your knee to your nose. Exhale, tiger core. Push the ground away. Heel rises back up. Breathe in. Knee to nose. Breathe out. Upper back towards the roof. One more time. Inhale that heel to the sky. Keep your hips square. And tiger core. Breathe out. The reason you push this away is so you can step through, land in fingertip lunge. Good. So there's this long, beautiful line from the left heel through the crown of the head. And you're just trying not to laugh because you just kicked in the head. Here, if you can, don't let your full chest and belly rest over your thigh. Think about broadening your collarbones towards the front of the room and trying to create a little space in between the chest and the thigh. Take one more big breath in here. Pyramid as you breathe out. Start to straighten out that front right leg. Yeah? If you can't get it to straight, that's totally fine. You can take a little bend. But what I want you to think, what I want everyone to think here is chest towards toes. And the reason we're going chest towards toes is it actually starts to straighten out the back. Yeah, we're not rounding through the spine. We're creating length both through the hamstring and through the spine. Everyone, take your right hip crease, pull it back in space. Good. What we're doing, pulling the sitting bones away from the heel. Yeah, so that whole back line of that right leg we're lengthening. Take one more breath out here. Start to come through crescent lunge with cactus arms. Open up the chest. Not here for too long. Good, so we're opening up through that right hip flexor. We're also opening up the whole front line. Take one more big expansive breath in. Arrowhead, breathe out. So we're still high up on that left toe. Yeah, we've been high up on the toe the whole time. The belly isn't resting on the thighs. Here, squeeze the shoulder blades together so we get this beautiful strong line up through that leg, through the torso, through the crown of the head. Take one more breath out here. Ground that right foot. Warrior 3. Breathe in. So come forward. Catch your balance. Not going to be here for too long. That standing leg can be bent, but this lifted leg is super strong, super engaged. Like you're trying to kick that left heel through the back wall. Take one more big breath in. Standing splits. Breathe out. Cool. Now you can use this shape as a little rest, or if you want to challenge your balance, maybe your hands come off the ground and take them to that left heel. Using the left glute, sorry, the right ankle. Left glute is lifting that left leg. Take one more breath out here. Keep the leg lifted, halfway lift, breathe in. Step or cast back into Chaturanga as you breathe out. Upward dog, breathe in, hips pull you up and back. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, when India jumped back to Chaturanga, she landed in bent arms. She's going to demonstrate again for you guys if you just want to look up really quickly. Controlled in bent arms. Now, you do not have to jump back, but if you want to take that option, just make sure that all the force isn't going into your shoulders. So take it on the left side. Take a breath out. Left heel up, big breath in. Hips stay square. Knee to nose, breathe out, push the ground away. Heel rises back up, breathe in. Take it to your nose, squeeze all the air out. One more time, heel rises. Knee to nose, step between your hands, fingertip lunge. Now on the other side. broadening your collarbones. If you want to take it a little further, you can actually lift your fingertips up off the ground. Good. Really nice thing. Some of you take that option. Yeah? And something we say all the time is, yeah, listen to your body. If your body wants more, give it more. Take one more breath in here. Pyramid, breathe out. Start to straighten that left leg. A little bend in the knees. Fine if you need it. But what I want everyone to do, take this big toe mount in that left foot, ground it into the earth. Yeah. Then start to pull that left hip crease back. Good. Chest towards toes. Take one more breath out. Come up through crescent lunge. Cactus the arms. Open up through the chest. Good. This one may take a little second to catch the balance. That's fine. One more big expansive breath. Open up through that front line. Arrowhead. Breathe out. With that last pose, set you up really well to be in this long straight line, keeping the chest open. Yeah, the shoulder blades are doing the work, squeezing together. Belly is not resting on the thighs. Take one more breath out here. Ground the left foot. Warrior 3, as you breathe in, catch your balance. Awesome. Lifted leg is super strong, super engaged. The standing leg can be bent. That's fine. By having the arms out in front, it's more work for your core. Extending that lever load. One more big breath in. Standing splits. Breathe out. You can take that option of working with the balance here. Or you can just engage that right glute to lift this right leg a little bit higher. One more breath out here. Keep the leg lifted. Fingertip lunge, inhale. Step or cast back, chaturanga. Upward facing, pushing the earth away, and downward facing dog as you breathe out. Really nice. So we're going to flow it through one breath, one movement. As always, listen to your body. Take whatever option is going to serve you best. Remember, if you decide to jump back, bend arm. Let's take a breath out. Right heel starts to lift on the inhale. Just one tiger curl. Need to know, squeeze all the air out actively. Fingertip lunge as you breathe in. You're high up on the back toe. Pyramid as you breathe out. Come through crescent. Those cactus arms open up through the chest. Arrowhead, breathe out. Ground the right foot. Warrior 3. Inhale. Standing splits, chest towards toes. Fingertips, chest opens, cast or jump back, breathe out. Upward facing dog, breathe in. Downward facing dog, exhale, left heel to the sky. Use the whole breath, move a little slower if you can. Start to take that knee towards your nose. Step between your hands. Fingertip lunge. Start to pull that left hip crease back as you straighten out the leg, landing pyramid. Open up through the chest. Big, expansive breath in. Arrowhead as you breathe out. Ground that left foot. Warrior 3. I'm going to get out of India's way. Standing splits. Exhale. Use that right glute. Halfway lift, keep the leg lifted, breathe in, step, jump, cast, handstand back, land in chaturanga, upward facing dog. Squeeze the shoulder blades, hips take you up and back, down dog. We're going to go through one more time with that flow. Right heel rises. Knee to nose, breathe out. Fingertip lunge, think chest up off thighs. You're not resting here. Pyramid, breathe out. Cactus arms, crescent, open up. Big breath in. Arrowhead, breathe out. Ground through that right foot. Warrior 3. Good. Standing splits. Breathe out. Keep the leg lifted. Halfway lift. Cast, jump, step, walk. Your variation, landing chaturanga. Upward facing, downward facing. One more time on the left. Heel lifts with the inhale. Tiger curl. Actively pushing the ground away so you can step between your hands. Fingers at lunge. Pyramid, breathe out. Stay high on that right toe. Cactus arms, open up through the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Keep that engagement through the upper back as you land in arrowhead. Warrior 3, breathe in, fold over, standing split. Keep the leg lifted halfway. Big breath in, your variation to get back to chaturanga. Upward facing dog, inhale, downward facing dog, breathe out. Such a good job, guys. We're going to take that. We're going to add on top. Yeah, the big sigh from India. This is a beautiful way to practice though. Yeah, it's a really good way to introduce new postures and stay in the flow of the ones we've already done. So take a breath out. Right heel rising. Tiger curl. Squeeze all of that air out. Step between your hands. Fingertip lunge. Belly is just off the thigh. Land in that pyramid. Straightening out that right leg. Open up the chest. Cactus arms. Breathe in. Arrowhead. Exhale. Still high on the back toe. Ground that right foot. Warrior 3. Breathe in. Standing splits. Breathe out. Come up through stalk. Big breath in. Yeah, this is where the add-on comes. Changing it up. A few breaths here just to find that beautiful straight line. Yeah, maybe you start to take the belly button in towards the spine a little bit more. It is so hot here, guys. Take one more big breath in. Start to curtsy squat. So you're going to take that left foot back and behind to the right. Back up through stalk. Breathe in. We're only going to do 2, so you're halfway there. Take it again on the breath out. You're trying to touch that left toe back and behind you. If you need to use your hand, that's fine. Back up through stalk. Breathe in. Forward fold. Breathe out. Halfway lift in. Step, jump, back through chaturanga or straight back to downward facing dog. Up dog in. Down dog, breathe out. Left heel rises. Knee to nose. Step between your hands, pushing the ground away. That's going to give you more space. Pyramid as you breathe out. Pull that left hip crease back. Open up through the chest. This beautiful cactus arm, crescent lunge, arrowhead. That engagement stays through the upper back the whole time. Ground that left foot. Warrior 3. Catch the balance. Wobbles are fine. Standing splits. Breathe out. Keep that left foot grounded. Come up through stalk. Breathe in. Catch the balance. A few breaths here. Really, really nice stretch. I don't know why I was saying that. Good. Catching the balance through those 4 corners in your left foot. 2 at the front, 2 at the back. I apologize for my dirty feet. One more breath in. Curtsy squat. Those right toes start to come back and behind. Back up through stalk. Breathe in. One more curtsy squat. Slow and controlled. Really nice. Back up. Inhale. And just bring that right foot to the earth. I'm not going to make you go through that full chaturanga, up dog, down dog. You can shake the legs out. We're going to flow that through one time. We're going to start from standing. Yeah, I think we've done enough chaturanga. So take a breath out here. Step the left foot to the back of the mat so you land in that fingertip lunge. Big breath in here. Pyramid. Breathe out. Keep that right big toe mound grounded as you open up the front line. Breathe in. Arrowhead. Squeeze the shoulder blades. This beautiful long straight line. Warrior 3. Inhale. Standing splits. Breathe out. You're gonna come up through stork as you inhale. That's a big transition, really nice. Straight to that curtsy squat. You're just gonna do one in flow. So touch the left toes down, breathe out. Back up through stork, breathe in, touch that foot down. A little wobble of the legs. Really, really good. Just gonna float through one more time on the other side. So take a breath out. Fingertip lunge, step the right foot back so the left foot is forward. Pyramid, that right hip crease goes back. Open up through the chest, big breath in. Arrowhead, exhale, staying high up on the right toe. Catch the balance in warrior three. Standing splits, really nice. Use the right glute to lift up. Come up through stork, breathe in. That beautiful long straight line, belly button in towards spine, then curtsy squat. The right toe touches down behind. Back up through stork, inhale. Foot to the ground, breathe out. Really, really nice. And shake out the legs, wobble them out. From here, start to come high up onto the toes. Then begin to squat down to the earth. There's no rush. Unless, of course, you want to get to child's pose quicker. In that case, you can rush down. You get down there. You can shift back on your mat a little bit. Landing the knees together. Child's pose. You allow the arms to fall down by your side. Stillness in this storm of asana. Your opportunity. Focus on just your breath. And we're here for a second without any movement. This is a beautiful opportunity to come back. Am I using that full inhale and exhale down to the bottom of the lung? If not, there's no better time to bring that back into your practice. One more full round of breath here. Take a big breath in. Start to move back, downward facing dog. Apologies for the sounds of Vietnam in the background. Come high up on your toes, breathing. Bend your knees, breathe out, step, jump, float, land at the top of the mat, halfway lift. Forward, fold, exhale. Here, take your two peace fingers, wrap them around your big toes. So in this forward fold, Parambushtasana, the Sanskrit name. But just like any other forward fold, we want the bend to come from the hips, belly resting on thighs, take a bend in your knees if you need them. For this pose here, one of the only opportunities we have in an asana practice to use our biceps. Yeah? Want to get those nice beach muscles show off. There's an opportunity to start to almost bicep curl the chest in towards the thigh. Yeah, yoga is very push, push, push. It's an opportunity for a little bit of pull. We're not just tensing up through the upper body, we still want that long, slow, continuous breath. One more full round here. Start to release the toes. Now this next part, you guys can come down to a seat if you want. India is going to demonstrate this next little part. Cool. Now we call these cannonball hops. It's an opportunity to work towards a handstand. If you've never even thought about handstanding, this is a really good way to kind of get that feeling of having everything off the ground with your hands. If you know this is totally not for you, the option for you is going to be standing splits, which is where India is going to start. You can stay with this. If you want to turn it into a balance, like we did before, you can take your hands to the ankle. Yeah? So there is an option for everyone. If you want to play around with getting upside down, please make sure there is nothing around you that you can kick or knock over. From here, the left leg is lifted. All India is doing is kicking up with the right and hugging that right knee into her belly. Yeah? If you get a second of airtime, awesome. If you don't get any airtime, awesome. If you stay upside down for a minute, awesome. Yeah, if you just stay in the standing splits, working on the balance, that is just as good as this. Yeah, you guys know, whenever we teach anything like this, there is bus stops. There is an opportunity for everyone to get something out of this practice. Yeah. Yeah, just make sure there's nothing around you that you're going to kick or knock over. So if we're getting into this weight on the hands, it's index fingers forward, the rest of the fingers flare out, grip the mat. Yeah, but play around with it. This is a really good opportunity. You're at home. This one is really, really fun, but in studio it can sometimes become an issue because people could fall over and kick other people. This is a really good opportunity to try it.
Really nice work, guys. Good.
Yes, this is awesome. But again, if you do not want to get upside down, standing splits, work on the balance. You have that leg lifted. Start to take both your hands towards your ankle. Really nice. Good. Nice, yeah. Yeah, but this is a really good opportunity. This is how that pathway to handstand starts. Yeah, it's just getting used to feeling weight in the hands. And if you're somebody who's like, yeah, I'd love to have handstand as part of my practice, it's going to be like this for probably like 7 or 8 months. Cool. Make sure you try kicking up with both legs. I promise you one is going to feel super gumby compared to the other one. Cool. But just 2 more breaths like this. Try it out, everyone. Really, really good. I love to see that everyone is going for it. Yes, nice. So good. Cool. Start to come back to a forward fold. You guys know we love to go into Padahastasana after we have weight into the hand. Yeah, so here, trying to get the big toe and the toes into this wrist grip. Yeah? And why we do that is once we get to that point, with a bend in the knees, for a lot of us, we can start to massage out the wrists with the toes. And this is really nice after we come weight in the hands. With our carpal bones, the bones that make up this part of our wrist, they're not necessarily meant to hold heaps of weight, and that's why it's really important that we engage with our hands every time they're on the mat. Yeah. That muscular engagement is going to protect all of those little bones. So a few more breaths here. Slow and controlled. Start to come off the hand. Take a breath out. Come through a halfway lift. Breathe in. Step, step. Don't jump back to a high plank. You guys know if you need to drop your knees down, drop your knees down. You have 3 long, slow breaths to lower all the way down. If those cannonball jumps weren't enough, you can bust out some push-ups. Yeah, but slowly start to release to the earth. Take a second here. Just notice your heartbeat on the mat. It's a little fast. How can we start to bring it back? And that long, slow breath. a bit of opening through that front line. So we're going to go straight into floor bow. Start to bring your heels towards your butt. Grab the outsides of your ankles. Now, if the shape isn't accessible for you, locust is a really good option. What we're going to do is the exact same movement we would in locust. Shoulders squeeze together, head, chest, shoulders start to rise off the ground. Once you've made this shape, then start to kick into your hand. Whenever we're doing something like this, we never want to think lift up. Yeah? We want to think about creating length. Yeah? Through the spine of this straight line, you're automatically going to start to rise. So everyone kick into their hands, think create length, squeeze the knees in towards each other. Really, really good. Just 2 more big breaths in here. Really use that inhale to create some space through the belly. Squeeze it out as you exhale. 1 more time. Breathe in, lift. Create that length, then release down to the earth. Wobble your hips side to side. Release through the SIJ. You can say loosen through the SIJ, release, release. That's going to be, I'm going to use that now. Release through the SIJ. All right, before India completely loses it, start to bring your hands either side of your ribs. Yeah? Up dog or cobra, whichever one of those is going to serve you best at this point in your practice. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Not going to be here for too long, but this is going to be our last downward facing dog. Make sure you're still pushing the earth away. Maybe you can start to move a little closer to that straight leg shape. If you can't, that's totally fine. It's not that you're not yet there, it's that you're not there just yet. It's a beautiful thing about this practice of yoga. A lot of times you don't notice the gains that you're getting in your practice, and then all of a sudden, in a week or a month or a year, it's like, wow, I can do all of these things I couldn't do before. Take 1 more breath out here. Heels rise as you breathe in. Bend in your knees, step, jump, float through your hands, land on your butt, roll onto your back. Start to bring your heels hip width apart in towards your sitting bone. I'm going to take bridge. You guys know, especially when I teach this, the first bridge is always in segments. Yeah, this segmental spinal control. It's this amazing way to practice articulating through your spine with this muscular control. So slowly start to push down into your feet, lift your hips up off the ground, stop. Then your lower back, your lumbar spine starts to rise, stop. Then finally your thoracic, your upper back. When you get to the top, roll your shoulders underneath. There's lots of different hand variations. You can interlace your fingers. You can take robot arms. You can take your hands over your head. You can grab the outsides of your mat. Whatever you need to do, just make sure your knees are hugging towards the midline. They don't have to be touching. They're just moving towards that center line. Your hips lift up to the sky a little bit more. Start to think, take your chest back. Take 1 more big breath in here. Slow, controlled, the same way you came in, start to roll down. Now when you start to roll down, that's when you really need to work this tilt through your pelvis. Posterior tilt. Windscreen wipe the knees side to side. Got 1 more back then. If you guys want to stay with bridge, as always, really beautiful option. If you want to try and come into wheel, you're going to come into it the same way you would into bridge. Okay, so everyone's going to start off with the exact same movement. Hips lift, lumbar, thoracic. When you get to the top, hands come to either side of your head, fingers facing your feet. Push down into the ground. If you can, try not to come up through your head. So no matter where you are, bridge or wheel, the knees are hugging in, hips are lifting, chest is moving back. The only difference is if you're in wheel, hug the elbows towards the midline as well. Pushing the earth away. Still staying engaged through the hand. When you want to come down, it's chin to chest. Good. When you get to the bottom, windscreen wipe your knees side to side. Good. You can give the knees a big hug into the chest. You can roll side to side, backwards and forward. Start to roll up and down until you come up to a seat. So here we're going to come into Sukhasana, this box shape. So start to take your left leg, set it up so the shin is parallel to the front of the mat. You're not just sitting in a normal cross-legged shape here. It's almost like that left thigh is trying to go straight forward or as close as you can. And the left shin is going parallel with the front of the mat. From there, maybe you take the right ankle and place it on top of the left knee. If this shape isn't for you, you can place that right shin just in front of the left. So either variation, flex the toes on that top foot, the right foot. We're aiming towards the outer hips. So here, create some length in the spine. If you're comfortable here, you're getting that sensation, awesome, stay. If you want a little more, start to fold. Start to release here no matter where you are. Even if you're sitting up straight here, release the tension through the The outer hips can hold a lot of tension for a lot of people. So if stuff's coming up here, let it come. Bring yourself back to that inhale and exhale. Slowly start to take it over to the other side. So left ankle maybe on top of the right knee or just in front. One side may be totally different to the other, and it's really important with our practice that we honor that. We honor the differences, the inconsistencies in our body. So maybe you stay up straight or maybe you start to fold over. All the activity here is a little flexion in that top foot. Protect the knee. Other than that, release. Release the tension that's not just built up from this class, in the week, the month, 2020. I'm sure there's a lot of tension to be let go of. Feel like you're even. Slowly start to come back up. Send both legs out wide. As always here, make sure you have a straight lower back. Anytime we're going to fold forward, we want to do it from a neutral lower spine. So breathe in, create that length. Start to take your chest forward and towards the earth. We're not worried about depth. We're never worried about depth. Using the breath, that expansion through the belly. And emptying out to sink a little further down. Slowly start to come back up. Bring both legs together. Come through Paschimottanasana. Here you have two options. The first one is going to be just a straight hamstring stretch. Spine straight, chest to toes, bending your knees if you need. Beautiful opening through the back line. If you want to get into the back fascia line, think chin to chest and just round over. There's hardly any activity here. And getting into this back fascia line, it's this nervy sensation. You may feel it in the backs of your feet, the back of your legs, up your spine and the back of your neck. That fascia runs from the bottom of your feet all the way up to the top of your head. If we're in this slumped over shape, there is no activity. If it's super beneficial for different things, it's an opportunity for you to try and work out, decide which does your body need right now. No matter where you are, that breath carries you deeper. Slowly start to roll up, roll down onto your back. We're going to take Viparita Karani. So if you have a block or a pillow, this is where you place it under your hip. If you don't, just bring your hands underneath your hips, lift your feet up to the sky. So if you have a block or a pillow, awesome. If not, this is what it's going to look like. The reason we want to have the hands or the prop underneath the hips is we want the hips to be a little bit higher than the heart. It's going to allow blood and fluid to flow out of the leg. Allow us to start to switch off. This is the point where you can close your eyes down. When you're ready to bring the soles of your feet to the earth. Lift your hips up enough to remove the prop. Hug your knees into your chest. Big loving hug. Start to send your left leg out long, right knee into your chest. And allow your right knee to fall over to the left side. Maybe you adjust your hips to the right. Here, not at all worried about where that knee lands, but if you can, try and keep the shoulders heavy to the earth. Shoulders are anchoring to the ground, and everything below that is just falling wherever it needs to fall. It's almost like you have no say, your body's just doing whatever it needs to do. When you're ready, slowly start to take it to the other side. Once you can adjust the hips to the left, so you have this long straight line through the right leg, up through the torso, through the crown of the head. If you feel like that top leg is just hanging in space, a blocker or pillow under the left knee is always a good option. So rinsing out the spine, rinse out anything you are holding on to. No need for it now. Slowly start to come back to center. You take Supta Baddha Konasana, bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees fall out wide. Now the closer your heels are to your hips, the more intense this is going to be. The further away, the more restorative. Again, there's no right or wrong, it's just what you need right now. Moving down into the bottom of your belly a few more times before you let the breath go. Send your legs out long, arms down by your sides. Shavasana. When you land here, once you've found a comfortable position, which take your time to do, by the way, there's no rush. You can shuffle around, find somewhere where you can lay in stillness. You should start to bring your attention to your right index finger, the inside of your finger. What does that feel like? What's the sensation? Is it warm? Is it tingling? Just notice how the inside feels. And start to do the same thing for your right hand. What does the inside of your hand feel like? You don't have to move it, just bring your awareness there. Once you're aware how the inside of that right hand feels, how does your right arm feel? The inside, the energy moving the blood into the muscles. And once you've become aware of how the inside of that right arm feels, how does your left arm feel? How do your legs feel? Eventually, you bring this awareness into your whole body. And you sit with it. If you lose it, don't stress, don't judge, don't be hard on yourself. Just start again. And start to take notice of your breath. Move in and out past your top lip, with your belly rising and falling. Start to take really small movements in your fingers and your toes. And when you're ready, begin to roll over onto one side. Without any fuss, keeping your eyes closed. Let's move towards a comfortable seat. When you get there, bring your hands to your heart. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us again. We appreciate it every single time. It means so much to be able to share this practice with people all over the world. So thank you to you guys, sending all our love. As always, we'll leave you with Maharaji left Ram Das. Love everybody, tell the truth. Namaste.
Thank you again, Yogis, and hopefully we will see you Thursday, same time, probably the same place. Thanks again, guys.
For you guys who are interested in doing our 30-hour Anatomy and Alignment intensive, spots are actually filling up pretty quickly. So if you're interested in doing it, shoot us a message. We'll give you some more information. And yeah, have a good 2 days. We'll see you on Thursday.